What's going on, guys? MariK here, back with another Dragon Ball Super video. Today we have the last bit of the initial reveals for the Draft Box Set 6. And honestly, I'm surprised that Black got as short-handed as it did. It feels like there's a lot of Black cards missing from this list compared to some of the other colors, but we'll get into that in a moment. Let's go ahead and check this shit out. So first up, we have Son Goku. He's a 3-cost, 30,000 vanilla beater, and honestly, I love that we're getting more Zeno Goku stuff, but I feel like they're trying to add enough vanilla stuff to give you plenty of options, perhaps, for more vanilla support like the Black Goku deck, but really, altogether, it feels like they could have done a little bit more for the character. Like I said, there's a lot of Black missing from this set, it seems, but according to the card number on the bottom of the card, there doesn't appear to be a lot missing, so I'm just not sure why Black seems to be lacking in so many cards. Then we've got Son Gohan, changing history. He's a 1-cost 4,000 with barrier. When this card is played, draw 1 card. Once per turn, when your opponent switches their energy to active mode using a counter skill, place up to 1 card in your opponent's life and 1 card in their energy in the drop area. He's your silver bullet for Black. I'm kind of disappointed this is the only Son Gohan Zeno that we get in this, just because it means for like Gohonks later on, we won't be able to even use this card to fuse with him because he's a 4,000, unless we get a Zeno Trunks that also has 4,000, but that just seems kind of unlikely. Then we've got Son Goten, changing history. He's a 3-cost 15,000. He's got Overwhelm 3 and Activate Battle. Once per turn, choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. Switch this card to active mode. So get you an extra hit in, get you an extra card in your drop area to be able to overwhelm for the following turn. So not terrible, but I feel like you can do a little bit better with overwhelm, especially considering all the support we've had in previous sets. Then we've got Vegeta. He's a 2-cost 20,000 vanilla beater. Up next we have Trunks, changing history. He's a 4-cost 20,000 with Overwhelm 4 for 2 energy. 2 seems a lot for this, but let's see. When this card is played using Overwhelm, play up to 1 Black skillless battle card with energy cost of 3 or less from your deck or warp, then shuffle your deck if you look through it. Okay, so not entirely terrible. I guess really it lets you play a 30k beater for 2 energy, but it has to be a Black skillless battle card. So you could play the Goku, but is it really worth it? Sure, it's only 2 energy and 30,000 is great, but for no skills and no keywords to do some good damage in, I don't know. It's not bad, but I feel like if I'm gonna overwhelm cards that use energy to play them, what about Power Overseeing Time Trunks? I feel like that might be a better overwhelm card as far as actually costing you energy to play it. But maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just biased towards the older cards. Like I said, bringing out a 30,000 card is not bad at all, but at the same time, that's just all it is a 30,000 beater. Then we have Demon God Demigra, Destroyer of History. He's a 4-cost 20,000 with Overwhelm 4. For 1 energy, his auto says, if you have 3 or more energy and you choose 1 card in your hand and discard it, when this card is played using Overwhelm, activate this skill. At the end of the turn, choose up to 1 Demigra card with energy cost of 5 in your deck or hand, play it, then shuffle your deck if you look through it. That's kind of gross. You have to be at least at 3 energy, and you're discarding a card, but you're playing a card, so you're not losing card advantage. Or, well, I suppose you are with, this Demigra going away, but bring out a Demigra 5 or less. Ew. That's That's actually not a bad ability. Unless the Demigra you're bringing out specifically gets its abilities from Overrealm. This could be a great card indeed. Perhaps we won't have it in this video because for some reason Bandai has not been wanting to reveal the Giant Force stuff with these reveals, even though during their spoiler they revealed 2 of them, the Lord Slug and the Bergamo. We haven't seen one for blue, green, or black yet, so perhaps there will be a Giant Force Demigra. Well, but the other 2 were unisons though, so that wouldn't even help with this. But either way, this is not a bad card at all, and for 1 energy, you lose 1 card in advantage, but you get out a 5-drop that can do some serious damage. That's actually a pretty solid card. Then we have Demigra, Demon Realm Sorcerer. I really hate this form of Demigra. Like, I really hate his final form. This form's really cool. He looks menacing. Looks like a villain. This form, really, he just looks like he uses too much hair gel. He's a 2-cost, 15,000. Auto says, when this card attacks, choose 1. Choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, energy cost 2 or less, and send it to its owner's warp. Not terrible. Place up to 2 cards from the top of your deck in your drop area, and this card gets plus 5,000 power for the turn. Okay, gives you a little bit more Overrealm, and gives him a little bit more power to be somewhat useful. Or add up to 1 card from your life to your hand at the end of the turn, and return this card to its owner's hand. I mean, that's not bad either, but it does kind of help you awaken. But 2 energy every turn to do that, I mean, chances are your opponent's really going to help you out with that anyways, so that seems to be the weaker of the 3 abilities in my personal opinion. Then we have Boiling Berg. It looks like he's just got indigestion, like me. It's a 1-cost, activate main that says choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and send it to its owner's warp. At the end of your opponent's next turn, play the card sent to their warp with its skill to their battle area with its skills negated for the turn. Okay, so basically you're just playing a card and you're just going, hey, you stay out of the next fight. You take a timeout. You go timeout in warp. So warp is the new timeout for cards that you just don't want your opponent to smack you in the face with. That's not bad, especially for 1. Doesn't get around barrier or anything, so that's nice. Especially because I don't play black usually, and so this card hopefully won't hit me too bad. Then we have True Power Unleashed. Pretty dope looking art for this card, even though, like I said, I don't really care much for Demigra. He's a 2-cost, or it's a 2-cost, activate main, draw 1 card, then choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 4 or less, and send it to its owner's warp. So, it's a +1. It's a pretty solid +1 for 2 energy, so, I feel like, I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I feel like there are plenty of cards that can do that for 1 energy. That are, like, you know, specifically black cards centered around Overrealm and stuff like that. Most of them are probably, like, a physical body that would also give you something to swing with. You wouldn't get the draw 1, but you probably get another benefit to playing that card. This one's not bad. It's definitely not. You know, free advantage for 2 energies, not terrible. But I feel like there might be better cards to use. I don't know. Maybe I need to brush up on the black cards again. Then we have Super Dragon Flash. It's a 1-cost counterattack. Negate the attack, then you may choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. If you do, choose up to 1 black skillless battle card with energy cost of 3 or less in your hand and play it in rest mode. Okay, so they really want to take that Goku at the beginning, and they really want you to play that Goku. Now, again, I've never played skillless, so I can't think of all the skillless cards off the top of my head. I'm sure there's probably another black skillless 3-cost. I mean, it says 3 or less, so you could also play the 2-cost as well, but that's not a bad ability. That's actually an extremely good ability for the people playing the Set 6 Black Goku deck. the skillless deck. I don't remember what the leader's called, but Bonds of Friendship or something with Aider. I don't remember. So that's a pretty solid card. I mean, you neg yourself. But I mean, most counterattacks, it's a negative anyways, because you're just negating attack. But 30,000, and it comes out in rest mode, but at the same time, it's 30,000. They have to run that fucker over, and the next turn you just punch your opponent in the face with it. So that's not bad at all. I'm gonna have to double check and see what other 3-drop skillless cards there are, but I feel like this is one of the stronger cards in this reveal, alongside that 4-drop Demigra. But that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this video. This one's a little short because they just didn't reveal as many cards. There was actually 2 other cards they did reveal, but it was the Toei Unison and the other Demigra that we already saw. We already covered them in another video, and as you guys know, I don't like covering old shit that we've already done. I don't know why Bandai chooses to do the things they do like that, but hey, it is what it is. But I don't like to recycle the same shit over and over again. So it does seem a bit weird that Black has so few cards, because I know in previous draft boxes Black got a lot more support with 4 and 5. So I'm not really sure why it seems like they got shafted so much here. Hopefully we'll get more on the Giant Force cards, and hopefully there will be more than 1 Giant Force per color. Although I would say probably not, but at the same time, draft box, well, both draft boxes had, because draft box 4 had the, I don't know what they were called, the duo rares, whatever they were called. So 2 per color, that's 10. And then draft box 5 had the angel pairs, so they had 1 for each universe. Did they have 1 for each universe? I'm sure they did. That's like 12. Maybe not, but either way. So that's a lot. So maybe we'll get a Giant Force, 2 Giant Force cards per color, and out of that we've only seen 2, so maybe that'll make for a good reveal, hopefully this week. It's only Wednesday, so we still got Thursday and Friday, and Friday they'll upload all this stuff that's been revealed over the past couple weeks on the Facebook and on their website. So, but let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about Black. I feel like, I don't want to say it's the weakest color, but I feel like just because of the lack of support for it, it definitely feels the weakest. But maybe that's just me. Maybe, like I said, I just don't play Black decks that often. But with that, we're going to go ahead and get the frig out of here, and we'll see you guys in the next video.